14.9 millimeters. Due to meteorologists at the department, Jeevan Karunaratne notes that 111.1 millimeters of rain was recorded from Kurunegala.
Earth embankments collapsed in the Shannon, Watawala and Malyapu areas on the Hatton-Colombo main road owing to the heavy showers. Our correspondent says that vehicular movement has been restricted to a single lane. Earth embankments also collapsed onto the Hatton-Bhagwantalava road. Our correspondents report that the water level of the Kesselgamu Oya has increased. Nearly 200 families in the Waterwell area have been displaced, with the Hatton Oya bursting its bags. Meanwhile, low-lying areas and by-roads in the Veralapura, Mudduwa, Angamana and Batugere areas in Ratnapura were inundated. Several locations on the Ratnapura-Panadura road were also inundated. Meanwhile, 8 spill gates of the Parakrama Samudra in Polonnaruwa have been opened. Furthermore, erosions of the coastline in the Madaravalle area in Thalvilla, Maravilla is affecting houses located on the coast.
The driver of a van and a child died when the van they were travelling in collided with a train in the Arukwatta area in Paduka this morning.
The police said that the accident occurred at around 7 this morning at an unguarded level crossing. The van transporting preschool students had collided with the train, which led to the death of a 4-year-old child and the van driver. The van driver was a resident of the Mavathagam area in Paduka. The remains of the deceased are lying at the Paduka Base Hospital morgue.
Meanwhile, 12 people were injured when a bus met with an accident at around 6:40 this morning in the Gatengama on the Alapatta road in Ratnapura. According to the police, the accident occurred when a bus plying from Alapatta to Ratnapura veered off the road and toppled over. The injured have been admitted to the Ratnapura hospital. Deputy Minister of External Affairs Niyoma Perera states that death sentences have been handed down to 15 Sri Lankans in the Middle East, including Saudi Arabia. Perera notes that an individual from Chilau who has been handed down a death toll sentence in Abu Dhabi will be executed if he is not pardoned before the 30th of this month from the family members of the person who was killed.
Halawata Meral Pradeshe Pragit Madhusanka කියන පුද්ගලයාව හලාවත මැරවල ප්‍රදේශයේම පුද්ගලයෙක් විසින් අබු ඩාබි නගරයේ ඝාතනය කරනු ලැබුවා.
A person by the name of Pradeep Madhushankar from the Madawala area in Chilau was killed in Abu Dhabi by another person also from the Madawala area in Chilau. The suspect was imprisoned in October 2009. If Gamani Pereira, the person alleged to have carried out the killing, is not pardoned by Madhushankar's family before the 30th of this month, he will be executed. We ask that the parents of the deceased pardon him. The suspect has been in custody since October 2009 and has suffered great mental trauma.
අද මරණ ඉස්සෙල්ලා අපි මේ ඉල්ලීම් කරන්නේ හලාවත ප්‍රදේශයේ ප්‍රගීත් මදුශංකර් කියන මරුණු පුද්ගලයාගේ දෙමව්පියන්ගෙන් සමාව දෙන්න සමාව දීම තමයි උතුම්ම දායාදය. 2009 ඔක්තෝබර් මාසයේ සිට මේ වෙනකොට සිර දඬුවම් විදලා තියෙනවා. මානසිකව විශාල දඬුවමක් විදිනවා.
The Centre for Information and Books on Buddhism at the Sri Sambundaloka Viharaya in Colombo Fort was declared open yesterday. The main aim of the centre is to provide knowledge on Buddhism to locals and foreigners alike.
The Centre for Information and Books on Buddhism was declared open by Secretary to the Ministry of Urban Development and Defence, Gotabaya Rajapaksa. Chief incumbent of the Sri Sambuddhaloka Viharaya, Venerable Professor Itta Demaliye Indasara Thera, was also present. Buddhist lectures and programs are organised by the centre.
The Mirihana Special Crimes Unit has arrested 2 individuals on charges of robbing 650,000 rupees from 2 shops at the Meegoda Economic Centre. The police said that a firearm and a motorbike were in the possession of the suspects and were taken into custody. According to the police, one of the suspects is a former Navy officer. 5 persons had arrived at the Economic Centre on 2 motorbikes to carry out the robbery. Meanwhile, the OIC of the police post at the Meegoda Economic Centre has been interdicted. A high-ranking police officer said that the OIC was not present at the police post at the time of the robbery. Another phase of the series of media workshops conducted by News First is underway at the Peradeniya Central College.
This is incidentally the 89th media workshop organised by News First. The workshop educates children on how to compile and present a news bulletin. Students also gain practical knowledge and experience about the media at the workshop.
In some cricket news, the 3rd match of the President's Trophy one-day cricket tournament is currently underway at the Pallekele International Cricket Stadium, with the Sri Lanka A team taking on the Sri Lanka national team. Batting first, the Sri Lanka national team led by Dinesh Chandimal are on 156 runs for the loss of 8 wickets with 35 overs a short while ago.
The triangular one-day tournament is played as a warm-up fixture prior to the Sri Lanka national team's tour for the Champions Trophy and the Sri Lanka A team's tour to the West Indies. Winning the toss, the Sri Lanka A team captain Ashan Priyanjana invited the Sri Lanka national team to take first lease of the wicket. Skipper of the national team Dinesh Chandimal made 36 runs while Thilina Kandambi contributed 20 runs. Vimukti Perera bagged 3 wickets for 21 runs for the Sri Lanka A team.
With that, we wrap up Lunchtime News. Join us again at 1:55 for the very latest.